Hi everyone, this is Oleksiyenko here again. Today I would like to show another example of humans being able to calculate better than engines. Usually the reason for that is the engine sometimes doesn't see a not obvious idea that humans can consider, and the engines usually do not consider those, especially if they involve losing material or sacrifices that usually are just a bad move. So this is kind of a flaw in engines. Maybe AlphaZero would find it. If you don't know what AlphaZero is, I suggest googling it, and especially the match against Stockfish. Those games are fantastic. I think that AI played like superhuman, basically. The moves were human, and it calculated flawlessly, I guess. So the game I want to show you was from less than 2 years ago. I played round one of Ukrainian Championship that I was lucky enough to win, and it started with the very game against Moiseenko Alexander. We played round one. He's usually a c5 player, but I'm assuming he wanted to win round one. So I was 26-15, he was 26-57. So he goes for Caro-Kann, c5, dc, knight c6, a3, knight takes e5. I'm gonna run Stockfish 8 for now, because now I check Stockfish 9 can really see better than Stockfish 8, specifically this line, just to prove a point. And here I had analysis to b4 being the main move, as engine suggests, and I believe black has some problems to solve. And I gave bishop b5 check because I was sure it would be just a transposition after knight c6 b4. And Alessandro played bishop d7, and I remember my frustration because it's already move 6 and I'm out of my book. So here I'm committed to take on d5, and he quickly responded with queen to c7. So this is, and then later I found out that queen c7 was a novelty at the time of the game. But during the game I did not know that it was a novelty, and I was quite angry with myself that on move 7, and to be precise on move 6, I was out of my book and clearly running into my opponent's preparation. So I did not feel that well, and yet I managed to pull myself together and try to use the human eye to look at this position. So bishop is hanging on b5, right? I hope Stockfish 8 will not find it while I talk. So I checked through Chess24 transmission, and I spent about 8 something minutes per move here. And I remember clearly that I was considering a move bishop f4 as an opportunity to develop a piece and exchange some pieces. But after bishop b5, any capture, let's say bishop takes e5, I thought black would have a reasonable compensation in this endgame. Two bishops, slightly better development. The bishop on c7 will run into some nasty tempos, and I did not like it. Actually, Stockfish 9 here suggests move f4, which is another example of weird computer move. I don't think normally human beings do not consider moves like that. Not developing a piece, weakening the diagonal, making an isolated pawn on e5. Why would I do that? But apparently it's pretty good. Stockfish 8 gives on high depth like 0.5 for white. So, but I still try to use my human eye. So I don't want him to give two bishops, and so I consider bishop takes d7, knight takes d7 being the only move. And then I realized if I give away the c5 pawn, I should forget about the advantage. Usually that is what's happening. I have nothing to claim for advantage, no development, neither the center. So, but then I continued like bishop d7, knight takes d7, and pawn is hanging b4. That's a typical way to hold the pawn. So, well, the engine still cannot find. I think if you wait until depths like up to 30, but it takes a lot of time for the engine to get there. Usually people are not patient enough. And so I played bishop d7. Actually, I calculated everything before taking on d7. But let me see if the engine can see. Here, after the correct move b4, white is just an extra pawn and black has barely any compensation, which would qualify as more than 0.5 for white, and the engine cannot see it. Okay, it's not even considering b4. I'm not using the whole power of my computer in order to run this video, but it's not considering b4, and the reason is after b4 this diagonal becomes weak, and after knight f6 the engine doesn't see a place for a queen, because queen e5 would be an unpleasant check and losing more and more time. So queen f3 being the best move, that's awful. Black would just take the pawn on c5 at some point and would be at least equal and potentially better. So the engine cannot see, and you might think that maybe I'm wrong. Usually we are tempted to believe engine in open positions. Luckily during the game I had no access to the engine, so I had to use my own brain. So I calculated, if I go b4, he's gonna go knight f6. What else? Developing a piece while attacking my queen. And indeed it's a problem. To not blunder queen e5, I will have to move to some weird square like queen d4, running into other tempos on open file. But then I realized that this is a typical pattern. The queen on a1 very often can be trapped. And Stockfish 8 just does not consider. It's still running while I'm talking, still doesn't see it. So I might as well just go ahead and show it to him. So that is why my suggestion is when analyzing with engine, if you're of a decent level player, even if you consider yourself a weak player, still it is better to guide the engine rather than listen to his moves and say, but what if I play this? Very often the engine would say, no, it's a bad move and here's why, and this is how you learn. But sometimes you can even tell the engine, but this is a good move, and then he takes some time and then says, oh yes, you were right, I did not see that. So this is exactly the case. b4, knight gf6, it prefers black. Knight gf6, okay, it should see it now. Come on, Stockfish, you can do that. This is a typical. If you feel like, try to guess my move, which I had to anticipate 2 moves earlier when I took on d7. Queen a2, I've seen a possibility, but I didn't like queen a2, a5, the a file gets open. Queen a2 is just a bad move. Wow, Stockfish 8 just cannot find it. Okay, I will just show it. Queen goes to b3. The moment I show it, it realizes the following line. Now it would say queen b3. We will get to that a little later. White is just pawn up, maybe slightly behind in development, but there's no weakness to attack. So what is the point? What did the engine overlook? Now it gives advantage for white. And not even showing the main line in our human approach. It's queen e5 check, knight e2, queen takes a1, and knight e to c3, and the cage has locked. Bishop b2 being the next move. The only move for black to try to save the queen is to go a5, which is definitely the move white should consider, because if black goes a4 or a takes b, the queen might be out. So b takes a5, and bishop b2 is basically unstoppable. The only way to stop it is to try knight c5, and then white has to play only move queen b5 check, knight fd7, bishop b2, the queen is trapped, and still the line should be continued with rook a5, counter-attacking the queen. If I take the queen, the endgame would be inferior for white. Takes and takes, white is piece down, but queen a8 check, and that king is very restricted by its own pieces. Ironically, if the pawn was here, or even the pawn on f6 would be here, black would be doing fine. But here, black's king comes to the center, and after castle, white has a crushing attack for free. So this is a line I calculated when I took on b7. It is a long line, but I don't find anything extraordinary about it. This is a human line. Takes, protects the pawn, attacks the queen, moves the queen, If he doesn't take my rook, I have extra pawn and I should definitely go for it. So queen e5, g6, this is what happened in the game and I converted the advantage later. So queen e5, knight e2 on the move, queen a1, the cage has locked, bishop b2, almost unstoppable unless a5, b takes a5, and now the engine says the best move is e6, but well, I win the queen. Bishop b2, queen b2, queen b2. It says bishop takes c5, and well, I have a queen and a pawn for rook and a piece. Although I have some weak pawns, but clearly only I am playing for a win. The pawn on b7 is hanging. Actually, Stockfish 9, if I remember correctly, the best move claims to be g4. If we never ever considered it, I guess Stockfish 8 would agree. g4, oh my god, how can you play chess like that? But, and then I realized that black doesn't have a queen, my king doesn't need to castle. My king is fine in the center. I don't need to be afraid for my king. So I can just go and harass his king and disorganize his pieces. So g4, I would probably not play it. I would probably just take a pawn on b7. And probably black has decent drawing chances after castle. This pawn would fall, probably that one would fall, and there would be some sort of a fortress, I guess. But the point is that bishop b2 would win the queen, and knight c5 does not help for precise reason and back rank problem for black. So why didn't engine see this line? I believe it because it involves a blunder in terms of 95% of cases. I think the engines have well, the algorithm to not even consider lines that usually are bad, right? But we humans, we will consider them if we see an idea. If we see an idea, like in some of previous videos with the puzzle, we can sacrifice a queen if we see an idea, right? Normally engine, unless it doesn't see ideas, it's just trying manually to consider everything. So after g6, knight f3, bishop b2, castle, castle, black did not have enough compensation. He could have tried b6 move, which is a typical way to open the c file, takes, takes, and try to take over the white squares, but just to support my statement, knight e2 being an excellent move, and to support the c3 square so that knight can go to c3. And bishop f4 is also in the air. So knight e2 would be better, and black's compensation, black has some compensation due to white squares, but it's not enough. It is not enough. I was waiting for the engine to consider deeper and decompensate. It's more than half a pawn for white advantage. So, but the point being that using human approach, I managed to beat his preparation, and even Stockfish 8 couldn't see it. And I'm glad I was able to win this game, and and then I checked with the engine and I was so surprised that it didn't see. I was so happy with my play and performance, so I ended up winning that championship. So I hope you find this video entertaining. I tried to use Stockfish 9 and it did find the newer version of Stockfish 9. It did find, but the depth was quite high. So if you're using engine frequently, I suggest with Stockfish, the depth in complicated position at least 28, 27. That's lower than that, it can just blunder. Maybe later I'll show some other examples where the engine can just blunder. This is not seeing the best move is one thing, it's not the end of the world, but the engine can blunder. So depth is the key element here. And well, when analyzing, try to use more power of your computer, you'll get there faster. So for now it doesn't see bishop d7 and b4, but I gave it time, and on depth about 28 it had found it. So the bottom line is, we human beings, we still got it. You know, there are still positions, even not very unusual ones. This is a usual regular positions where we might be better than the engine. So I suggest guiding the engine rather than following it. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you soon.